All right, well, congratulations for making it over to video number 4 of support systems in the garden. And now I'm going to talk about, from what I've learned in the garden, how I've transferred those skills to learning how to work on my recovery from mental illness to mental health. All right, folks. So I want to talk a little bit about how the garden had the support system with the starting with the soil and the can and the cage and the stake, the clips and the nutrients and the water system, and that all tied together is a system to care for the tomatoes. And uh, for my recovery, I've also developed my own support system. And I divide it into two parts, a natural support system and a paid support system, a professional support system. So for a natural supports in my life that help me with my recovery to mental health is, I'm going to start this one out with my wife. I always leave her out to the last, or I don't even include her. So I want to make sure I get her in the first part. She's certainly been a major part of my recovery. I have a very supportive family. I realize not everybody has that, but I do, and I treat it with a great deal of respect. And some of us I have to work a little harder with to get along with and just enjoy their company. And some people in my family are just so easy to get along with, and that's the majority of them. Of course, you saw Ruby in the film, and she's a great part of my support system. I have great coworkers. So from my professional, my employment perspective, I have a tremendous support there. I have what I call wood buddies. The guys that do my forest recovery work. I have one guy that's got a truck. I don't have a truck, so when I need a truck, I got a buddy. I got somebody else that whenever I need a hand, I got people that just there for me. I consider YouTube a great support. It's my number one source of education to continue with my learning. No matter what it is I want to learn, I learn it from YouTube. And I have spiritual supports. And so, these are all natural supports that I've developed in my life to help me. Then also there's also paid support people that because of their services make me a lot healthier physically or mentally. And of course, I have my doctor, my primary care, my dentist, my pharmacist. She's been very helpful explaining medications and helping me go there. I have a stylist that I've had for over 25 years. I only see her once a month, and I pay her, but we have a relationship, one of the oldest relationships I have in my life. I used to have a therapist and a psychiatrist. I don't anymore, but they were very much a part of my support network. But they were paid members, and that's what I really want people to understand is the difference between a natural support system and a paid support system. Um, Something else that I learned from the garden at when it comes time to trimming some of the branches or pinching off the blossoms, it can be very hard sometimes to cut back my plants, but I know that in the long run I'm going to have a much healthier plant and a better crop. And in the same way, I had to learn that there were certain people, places, and things that I had to cut from my life. And all of them, I think without exception, were very difficult. that I realized, that these things were holding me back and were creating dysfunction and chaos in my life. And some of the things I was able to cut out for a while and then slowly reintroduce when I was in a better place. And it was hard. It was really hard, just pinching those blossoms on my tomato plants and trimming them. It's very hard, but that was a big thing that I learned. And trimming the blossoms gives the plant a lot more energy to develop the plant and grow and be a healthier plant, so that eventually when it does grow fruit, it's healthy, bigger, nicer fruit. And that's the same thing when I had to learn to trim people, places, or things from my life, that it gave me energy to work on my recovery and me to grow and be healthier, so that eventually, as I made progress with my recovery, I was able to produce more fruit, particularly at work and relationships and my own wellness. And so there's been a great payoff in doing that pruning. I mentioned in the video about the tomato plants growing to the height of the green stake. And we always use the word hope. Maybe it should be the word expectation. But when you're working with living plants or people, you just never know what the outcome's going to be. But I certainly have the hope that my tomatoes are going to grow that tall. And eventually I cut the leader on the plant so it stops growing taller and taller. And that's the same way that over the years, I've been working on my recovery for 10 years and past 5 years really understanding it and doing it very well. And so when I do all these things, cutting people, having support systems, again, it's not just a pie in the sky hope. It's with the full expectation that the end result is my wellness is going to improve, and I'm going to have the better life that I'm always looking for and striving to reach my full potential. And in the video too, when I put those tomato clips on the plants, that I start right away. As soon as the plant is tall enough that there's room for one clip, I put it on there. And that's one of the big reasons why I've started this YouTube channel, is for people that have mental illness, that too often we wait too long before we start learning about recovery and how to achieve recovery to mental health. Even though you might be still struggling with mental illness, you can still be working towards your mental health. So just like the tomato plant, you start right away. If I waited till August to try to keep my plants up off the ground, I'd have just a mess. I'd like more people to have the opportunity to start working towards recovery and improving their mental health as soon as possible. Nutrients. When I learned the difference between just counting calories and trying to eat good right foods, and I did all right. But once I understood eating for nutrition instead of calories, that was just another big milestone in my recovery. None of these steps are earth-shattering in my recovery, but the cumulative effect of them all really add up. So learning about nutrition was just huge. So when I talk about striving to reach my full potential, as as a husband, a father, my forest recovery work, as a teacher of recovery, as a spiritual being. I'm a very complex person. I'm not just a mental illness walking around in a body, struggling with depression. I work at developing my life, and in as many areas of my life as I can, as often as I can, any possible different way that I can, to strive to reach my full potential. So, I really hope this has been some help to you to better understand the process of recovery, understanding how to use supports, not just to be so you can, be stuck under the shade tree and just sit there and look green and look okay, but so you can really be out in the sunshine and grow and thrive and produce fruit and just really learn how to enjoy life and be transformed into the new person that is inside you, because you are not your illness. It's just something that is a part of you. And I didn't ask for this journey, but I am making the best of it, the most of it. I have progressed and become more of a person than I could have ever dreamt of being because of my journey. And I hope you can learn from this and make progress on your journey to mental health. All right, till the next time, thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment. All right, thank you.